let's just say you want to earn 30 college credits in the next 30 days. Does that sound like you? Cool. Let me show you how for only $99. And I know your first question is this a scam? Is this legit? It is totally legit, which, are you going to trust some random guy on YouTube who tells you that? Let me explain what's going on. This is Sophia Learning. They are a third-party course provider at the college level. They are accredited, most importantly, by the American Council on Education, which we'll come back to in a second. But basically, they have over 60 online college courses that you can learn at your own pace to transfer to your college, and it only costs $99 a month. Here are some of the courses they offer. We've got business, like communication, ethics, law, financial accounting, and a bunch of others. We've got career success, computer science and IT, English and communication, humanities, language, math, science, social science, and even a nursing pathway, which we won't get into this video so much, but there are some really cool options there. The way this works is that Sophia goes to the American Council on Education and says, hey, here are these courses that I have. Students, to be able to pass these courses, have to pass quizzes and tests and sometimes essays. If you like what you see, could you please recommend that this counts towards college credit? The American Council on Education, which is a third-party nonprofit, looks over all of them and says, hey, yeah, no, I really like, say, Introduction to Java Programming. We recommend 3 college credits for this, and then they do the same for all of the other courses that they like. They might not necessarily do it for all of them, but they do take a look at every single one. Then colleges, like Liberty University here, they go to the American Council on Education website, they look at all of the credits that they recommend, and they're like, these do look pretty good. And then, maybe they partner with Sophia, maybe they don't. Then all of the colleges that are out there go to the ACE website and take a look at the courses that are available. Let's say somebody was on the market for history. Oh, you know what? Looky here, ancient Greek philosophers, that's kind of historical. ACE recommends it for 3 credits. Then Liberty University, for instance, goes back to their side of things, and let's find ancient Greek philosophers. And they say, hey, this is actually pretty similar to our Phil 201 or Philosophy 201 course. I'll tell you what, if you finish ancient Greek philosophers with Sophia, we'll give you 3 credits towards Phil 201. And then they repeat this process for all of the other Sophia courses out there. That doesn't mean that they're going to accept all of them, but they do accept a lot, and a lot of other schools do too. In fact, Sophia students have sent transcripts to over 1,000 colleges. Now, that doesn't mean that over 1,000 colleges accept Sophia credits. In fact, it's one of the slightly lesser well-accepted third-party courses out there, but a lot of online programs do accept it. So if you are an adult or a young person going back to college and saying, hey, this college course would normally cost me $1,200 and take me 8 weeks to finish and has a lot of busy work, and I already basically know it, or any combination of those statements, you could go to Sophia and replace that course with one of theirs if your school accepts it. And the really cool thing here is that Sophia courses take anywhere between about 4 and 20 hours worth of work, as opposed to an online college course that's about 8 weeks long and is going to take somewhere between 10 and 20 hours worth of work per week. So you basically saving well over 100 hours worth of effort there, and a bunch of money because Sophia only costs $99 a month. These are Sophia's partner colleges. These are schools where they've specifically gone and worked with them to work out a deal where they guarantee that they'll always accept Sophia courses. And you can see we've got Purdue Global, which is a great school, SNHU, huge online school. Apparently they have a partnership with Thomas Edison, but we don't really know what the transfer equivalencies are at this point, which is kind of a bummer. But we've got University of Massachusetts Global, we've got WGU on here, a bunch of really good stuff. And there's really not a school on this list or any other list out there where their equivalent in-house course is going to be quicker or cheaper than the Sophia version. Sophia will almost always, like 99.9% of the time, be way cheaper and way quicker. You probably hear that and you think, aha, I've found the scam. This is a scam. And the reason that it's not is because what Sophia is looking for is at least a 70% score. When you are transferring credits from one school to another, that's usually the cutoff, is they want to see at least a C or they're not going to accept the credits. Like if you try to transfer in something you got an F, the school's going to be like, why would I, accept this credit? Like you obviously didn't know anything. But C is generally universally the accepted minimum level. So all passing to Sophia is proving to a school is that you know this course material at least a C level. And as somebody who taught online college courses, in-person college courses, it takes so little to get a C most of the time. So school standards are not very high for transferring credits. And even though Sophia has fewer hours, they focus on the most important parts and they have you prove your competency through quizzes and exams, which are open book, and through essays. Now you might think open book. Well, there's the scam. Am I really learning anything if it's open book? Sophia operates off of a different model. They operate off of a model where they say it's more important to be able to find information in the digital era than it is to be able to memorize information. It's like a different learning model. The benefit with taking CLEP and study.com over Sophia, way more schools accept those than accept these. But most of the online programs out there that anybody is going to be interested in do still accept Sophia. And part of that, sometimes because they operate off of a very similar model. Liberty University, for example, all of their exams are open book as well. And all of this is also partially why Sophia started to move towards essays more, where we start to say, hey, even more important than being able to find the information is being able to write a paper about the information and use the information to accomplish something else. And so I think that's a really good direction for them to move. If you watch this channel for long enough, you know we do interviews with people who just go crazy on Sophia all the time. We've had many people knock out 90 credits in a single month. And I think it's much more reasonable to target maybe 30 credits in a single month, because that still saves you like $12,000, but it doesn't have you working like 60 or 70 hour weeks to make it happen. If you're planning to attempt 30 credits in 30 days, I would recommend picking a lot of the easiest Sophia courses to try to make that happen. You only need to pass 10 of them, so that's one every 3 days. And some of these Sophia courses literally take like 4 hours to knock out. The longest ones are going to be closer to 20 hours, maybe slightly over, but it's going to be very easy to find 10 that are under 10 hours. And I actually will post a video at the end of this video that will show you exactly which ones to pick. The last thing you need to know about Sophia is basically what the inside of one of their courses look like. And you can see here, this is their college algebra course. And this is how they set up a lot of their different courses. You'll have basically a lesson, and then not really like a midterm. I guess in this case, it'd be a 1/5 term. And then you lesson. And there's gonna be like a little quiz associated with each one of these. And then you'll have this milestone. And then there's gonna be one final big project at the end called the final milestone. And let's take a look at unit number 1. You can see unit number 1 is all about performing operations with real numbers. And so in the first lesson, you're going to go through these 7 different topics and you'll take a quiz on it. And then we've got exponents here. And then we'll talk about radicals and college algebra and context. If any of you knows what any of this means, good for you, because it's been a long time since I took this in college. And here's a course that I actually successfully completed as a test a few years ago, developing effective teams. You can see that I hit that 70% mark with a 96%, way overachieved. This course was only actually worth 1 credit, which is why there's only 1 lesson, but it was very easy to do, and I made a video about it in which I accomplished it in under 30 minutes, which was kind of a rush. When I look at Sophia, the big question for me is, why are college courses so long? Obviously, there are some challenging ones, but you should be able to go through them quickly. Sophia is not the weird thing. This is self-paced learning. This is the way learning should be. Having to sit in class for 8 to 16 weeks and do busy work is awful. Like, that's a bad learning experience. Now, obviously, there are some strengths. There's like discussion in certain types of classes. There's hands-on help from an instructor. So for some learners, traditional college is going to be better, and there's more structure, right? This involves more self-discipline and keeping yourself to a schedule. But the fact that very few colleges actually use this model is kind of mind-blowing to me, because this is amazing. Anyway, here are all those videos that I mentioned, me knocking out a Sophia in under 30 minutes, and the 20 fastest Sophia courses out there so that you can go and complete the 30 in 30 challenge. If you do complete that, comment below. I would love to hear about it. If you are interested in getting some college hacking coaching so that you can learn which credits go where, which school would be best for you, which major you should pick so you can accomplish your goals, the link is in the description. We would love to help you. Thanks for watching, and happy hacking.